Hey, welcome back. So I was so happy with the results of that Valentine's chocolate candy piece, the mixed media from one or two posts back. Now, unfortunately, the church next door is using their leaf blower and they'll be at that for a long time, either that or the apartments. So I put the radio on, of course, and as soon as I did that and started the video, they started talking about what they just played. Murphy's Law, right? So, anyway, now I'm going to turn that off and you have to listen to the. Okay, he's back to music. Little South Pacific, and you probably can hear the leaf blower, and so it's just a lot of noise while I'm talking. But anyway, I was so satisfied with those, I thought I'd pull up a couple, not pull up, sketch a couple other sort of iconic images. So that chocolate bonbon from the previous image is, I've used bonbons a lot in various small paintings. So martini glasses, coffee cups, and slices of pie are other sort of iconic still life images that I work with over the years quite a bit. In fact, with the coffee cup, the very first painting I think I ever did, and I've kept it with the paint sticks, was 3 cups of coffee. Now normally I don't include a handle, but I thought I would with this one. So the idea here is I can play around with these things. I love that the wash of the acrylic paint. Now in that case I had used this water-based speedball ink, and the water-based remain water soluble. So today I bought some oil-based. Of course, the cleanup is a bigger pain in the butt, but it's what it is. So we'll do that, and I'm also thinking about maybe using ink pads. So I have some ideas, like with the coffee cup. There's just a lot of different ways I can play with these images. Because of the scale, I don't think I can use the pie with the drinks. But and this was exciting for me because this is something I haven't done before. I tried it on that piece that I gave to my wife for our celebration of 43 years. And I went, that's actually a really cool idea. So I thought I'd keep going at it. So I'm going to switch over now and just get all of these carved. I think while I was talking, I switched the blade to the Sharp V, which is great for the initial lining process. So, and of course with this, now it's a fairly warm day, so these are pretty warm. One of the things you can do to help, if you're particularly, like I do that Christmas card, and there are videos of that as well. If you dig back through these pieces, you'll see the carving and printing of a Christmas card. Same process, the block printing. Although in that case I was using a press and doing a more traditional printing idea. These are more using these things as block prints so that I can create multiples. So you can see it's just a long, you're doing a long slow cut. I've already got this edge line in there, so I'll just get to it and set that aside. So, that's the line piece, and then we'll cut all that out. With block printing, you're taking away everything you don't want. That makes sense, right? But, so I'm taking away what is going to be the white paper, which I can then come back in with the mixed media element and either color it or not color it and back and forth. Like with these, the line work is basic enough that this can be a martini, it can be a dirty martini, it can be a Manhattan. It can be Rob Roy, not that you could tell the difference. But there's things I can do with that. I can combine these two together. And so I had this joke idea that if I repeated it, coffee cup, martini glass, coffee cup, martini glass, etc., we could call it night and day. And if I did 7 of them, it could be a week. And there's ways you can play around with this. And this can be, a cherry pie, a blueberry pie. Intrinsically can be an apple pie too. It can be whatever. And so there's ways to play with all of these based on color. So this becomes a, sorry for the pun, a building block. so I'm going to go ahead and switch to time lapse and carve away, and you won't have to listen to the annoying leaf blower. I think LA tried to ban those things because, you get 8 or 9 of those going at once in a neighborhood. It's quite a bit of noise pollution. I hate them. All right. Sorry, enough about leaf blowers. All right, so I'm going to switch this now. And thanks so much for taking the time to watch. Again, please remember to subscribe, particularly if you want to see this process as it goes forward. And always appreciate your comments, questions. Hey, let's have a chat. You don't like it? You don't like it. Give it a thumbs down. I don't care. Well, I care, but I don't care. What is that? Sorry, not sorry? In this case, care, don't care. So, see you on the other side. So I have a couple things to point out. One, you may have noticed there was a mistake and I lost a bit of this line. And so it goes. So hopefully I cut it so that it's a line quality thing. It doesn't have to be a perfect outline. And the other thing is, you've noticed I've been spinning around and all the cut marks, just in case when I ink this up and any of these little cutaway lines print, I want them to have some relationship to the coffee cup itself. Some sort of radiant relationship to the object in the middle. Because you're not going to get it perfectly flat around it. So I use that. And then the final decision, I'm still debating. As you notice, that's a solid line right now. And that was my original intention, but I've been debating because then that will read as a black handle, which can be justified because the handle can be in shadow and therefore it's not going to be as bright white as the rest of the cup. But then conversely, I haven't shown any shadow because that will be part of the paint detail. And if I just do, I probably will also do these as just standalone single image small prints. That's the whole point behind this particular project, is I'm setting up things that will have multi-use, multi-interpretations, and the idea of repetition. And part of that idea comes from one of my favorite artists, Wayne Thiebaud. I believe it's Thiebaud. Wayne is pretty common. As far as I know, he's still alive and painting today. But he spent some time working in cafeterias, and so he has all these paintings of multiple repetitive slices of pie or repetitive whatever. And the shadow and the background, or lack of background, become an important part of that. So somewhat this idea is also an homage to that. I have certainly used that idea in my own work. So of course now I have to go through the carving of these two pieces as well. It's a repetition of the exact same thing, so I'm not going to bother to show you that. But so the next step creatively will be just to ink and print all of these in various ways once the images are fully cut out. One of my problems, one of my thought processes, one of my issues is while I'm printing, should I print them all at once? You know, have multiple pieces of paper. I've got a lot of variables, and that's what I like, not knowing what I'm doing. Well, I know the intended objective, but I don't know the final results. I don't know the final methodology. And that discovery as you're working is what's exciting for me, but hopefully the viewer can also see that discovery process being played out. So this first piece, I believe, is cut out. There'll be another step where I can kind of do a rubbing. I don't see a piece of paper that a rubbing will work for. Nope. So I have to find a piece of paper to do a rubbing. But anyway, that's as far as I'm going to go with this video, so you can sort of get this idea. Be sure to subscribe so you'll get the next post when we move on to the next step of this. As always, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for the interest. And we'll see you with the next video, which will probably be a day or two. I don't know. Anyway, thanks. Here, let me put that where you can actually see the carved image. So you can see how what I was talking about with those texture lines. And the news has started, so I will jump out.